Man, the program has evolved, and every year we try to figure out ways to improve our kids, improve performance, improve the program in general. And so for me, it's never really been about winning, and a lot of guys say that. I truly believe it. It's been about developing young men. It's been about finding ways to help guys enhance and improve their character, to understand what's really important in life, to find meaning and purpose in the things that they do. And so we try to incorporate a lot of things. We're a faith-based school to begin with. We try to incorporate God into everything that we do. And we do a lot of things that we think give the kids meaning and purpose beyond trying to win games, trying to execute plays, trying to learn how to block and tackle. That's really important for us. So there's a lot of little things that we do. We've been really successful as a program and as a football team because our identity is sort of blue-collar, hardworking, overachieving, tough-minded mentality type kids. And when you combine that with some talent, that's a pretty scary combination. And so Bishop Moore football players, and all of our athletes, but in particular our football players, have been those types of guys. The guys that are going to sort of show up on the field, maybe not look like they're as good as the opponent, maybe not look quite so intimidating, but by the time you get done playing them, they were physical, they played really hard, they never argued with each other, they executed really well, they committed very few, if any, penalties, never turned the ball over, and if you look up at the scoreboard and you've lost. And we've won a lot of games that way. I think it's really important to have that kind of football team as your identity and as your culture. And then if you combine some talent into that in some years, then you can really take it over the top. Some of the changes that we've made in spring, and we're 2.5 weeks into it, and thinking I kind of like some of them, and I had the thought in my head that, I think we're getting close to being able to have a real formula for what we do and why we do it. And we're talking 16 years. So I don't know if you ever really get there, but I think as long as you're constantly seeking new ideas and being able to incorporate them into your program in a way that your kids will believe and feel good about, you're always getting closer.
There are so many different schools out there that do different things, and sometimes people might come here and say, oh, Bishop Moore does this, does that. We do it our way because we feel comfortable with it. We don't always have the athletes, we don't always have the size, so we have to kind of get specific of what works with us. So Coach Hedrick, I might repeat what he said before, our staple play on offense is the jet play. If you ask any coach in the area, they know that we run that play. It's a play that we have success on, we can hang our hat on. So we really practice it, It's the Bishop Moore way of saying, hey, we're not always gonna be the best, we're not always gonna be the strongest, but we're gonna be very consistent in what we do, and it can make us successful. And I think it's done well for us in these past couple of years. We've really built an identity about some of the things we do offensively and defensively, and it's all because of Matt.
Well, I think it's common at our level in high school not to have consistency in staff and not to have consistency in a head coach either. So one of the things that Bishop Moore has been fortunate with is that we've had a consistency in our head coaches, not just in football, but in a lot of sports. And you're able to develop a culture, you're able to provide that message over a series of years for the kids to really grab a hold of and believe in. So I think that's really important. So the coaches that don't have that, or the programs that don't have that, obviously struggle more to instill that culture and to get it to be something that lives on and on for years to come.
A lot of people would think, the wins and the losses and the championships and the district wins and all that stuff. I think being successful is being well-liked. You can always be depended on. You can always make sure that you're going to bust your tail every time that you're out on the field for practice, for games, and that can be successful. When we have our guys graduate here, they come back to Bishop Moore all the time for Thanksgiving or for Christmas, for playoff games, and seeing the smile on their faces because they remembered what it really took to be here. And I think that's what success is.